Good evening, everyone, and Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy New Year. We're going to start our student representatives updates and speaking, which we always look forward to. Conservatory of the Arts, Bailey DeStefano, Kayla Staley, and Kayla, you did a great job at Union Station, by the way, too. And I know you're supported by Mr. Soccer, Principal Ryan Kelly, William Soto, Assistant Principal, and Mr. Energy himself, Marco Carradas, the music teacher, Maestro Deluxe. So with that, I don't know if anybody from the administration would like to open up first before we go to Bailey and Kayla, please.
Well, I guess I could say the same thing I always do, which is they don't need any help from us. So I believe it's Bailey first and then Kayla. Am I right? Take it away.
Principal Kelly, you look like Ernest Hemingway with that beard. Yeah. Who's first?
Bailey.
I'm
All right,
first.
Bailey. Mr. Stefano, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, dear.
Hello, Mr. Sarno and members of the school committee. My name is Bailey DeStefano, and I am currently a junior majoring in vocal studies and conservatory. This is my second year at the school, and I have been fortunate enough to be able to participate in many of the amazing opportunities the conservatory has provided, with including meeting Grammy, Tony, and Emmy winners. And like my classmate Kayla Staley, I too earned a scholarship to participate in the 4-week overnight elite summer New England music camp, located in Sydney, Maine, along the eastern shore of Messalonskee Lake. I'm here to share news and accomplishments that I'm really proud of that took place here before Thanksgiving and holiday break. Each year, the Massachusetts Music Educators Association, also known as MMEA, holds auditions for each of the 4 regions in our state for the top students to be accepted into festival groups such as choir, orchestra, band, and jazz band. Springfield Public Schools are members of the Western District. And I'm proud to announce that Kayla Staley and I are the first students in nearly 20 years representing our city's music programs to be accepted into the Western District Festival Choir taking place in April 2022. I'm also proud to share that based on my personal audition scores, I've been accepted to audition to participate in the Massachusetts All-State Choir. Both achievements are the first ever for students from the conservatory, and we're honored to be able to have the opportunity to represent our city, our school, and families at these prestigious state music festivals. At this moment, I would like to sing a little bit of something for the holidays to give you a sample of training I've been receiving at the conservatory. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, but my dear, we're still goodbying. As long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Whoa, way to go, Mr. Stefano. A cappella, that was wonderful, Bailey. Thank you. Really brightened the day today, this evening. Thank you so much, dear. And next is Kayla's up. She did a great job at Union Station with Vanessa, the songstress of Springfield, Vanessa Ford. So we appreciate that. Kayla?
Hi.
How you doing, Kayla?
I'm good. How's everybody doing? Good.
Good, good.
It's nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
As my classmate Bailey DeStefano mentioned, we have been working really hard since the fall preparing for these important auditions, and we are truly proud of the results. In addition to being accepted into the MMEA festival choirs, we have also both earned scholarships to receive free weekly voice lessons from Dr. Michelle Fiertek, the chair of Vocal Studies Department at the Hart School at the University of Hartford. Last week, I was also informed that I had been accepted to participate in weekly vocal coaching with Broadway stars Christine Dorier, known for her leading roles in Wicked and Waitress, and Matt DeAngelis, known for his roles in Hair and Once on Waitress, at the Working Studio in New York City. In the meantime, I wanted to sing something for you as a reprise performance for my commercial I just made from Union Station in celebration of the holiday season. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, troubles will be miles away. And have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Oh, Kayla, you gave me goosebumps. Way to go. That's beautiful. You and Bailey, beautiful. You made our nights. Merry
From the conservatory, we wish you a Merry
Merry
Christmas. We wish you
Oh,
a
now
Merry
he's
Christmas.
gonna-
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Great.
Nicely done, ladies.
Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Conservatory of the Arts. You very heartwarming for us. We appreciate that. Liberty Prep Academy is in the house. Felix Moya, supported by Principal Rhonda Jacobs and Assistant Principal Jennifer McQuaid. I don't know if the administration wants to open up first for Felix, please.
I always like to defer to my assistant principals. They are phenomenal site administrators. Ms. McQuaid?
So I'm going to introduce Felix. I asked him to speak because he's a wonderful student at Liberty Prep. He came to us not as a resident, but is a resident now, and he'll tell you his story. I don't believe he's going to sing for you, correct, Felix?
No. Not here. Sorry.
Oh, Felix, your voice is a little distorted, the sound. I don't know.
What is okay now?
No.
That's better, Felix. Yeah,
Is it better?
it's better. Yeah.
Is it better?
Well, no, now it's a little distorted. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Is this better?
Just maybe unplug your headphones from the laptop.
That's just what I did.
Well, you can try. Go ahead and try.
Go ahead, Felix. That's okay.
All right. So as Ms. Wade was saying, I was a resident in Goodwood House last year from November 22nd to January 99th. We weren't able to get the exact but it was around the middle of January where I ended up in LPA. And I got out of Goodwood House and exactly with LPA because of their.
Felix, hold on one second. Brendan, is there anything that he can, that maybe he's turning, can he turn off at all? Hold on, Felix, one second, 'cause we want to hear you.
We unplugged his headphones.
Anything? Okay, so, okay. Go ahead, Felix. I'm sorry.
It's all right. No problem. And then I decided to stay with the idea because of the one I get with the teachers and students. It's not like a regular school where there's so much there's drugs going on, there's so many people in the classes where they can't handle themselves. Here at LPA, we are able to have one-on-one time needed, in my opinion, for students. We're able to have that one-on-one time to finish our assignments, to even try to start school. Some of us haven't, most of us like school, but yeah, doing it for the fact that we have that one word. It's not, it's just we don't deal with it on our own anymore. I go for
Oh, now he's frozen.
Well, you can tell it's very heartfelt. I know
Yeah,
that.
he's got a great speech to tell you. I wish you could hear him clearly.
Well, we'll get Jen, we'll get him down the road. How's that? But you can
Okay, yeah,
see
he's
it is
frozen.
very heartfelt.
While we do the others, why don't you have them log out and log back in?
we can
I'm
come-
gonna, yep,
We'll come back
Okay.
to him.
I'm gonna
Thanks,
call his
Jen.
grandma right now.
And say hi to Judy. High School Completion Program. Gabrielle Cargill, she's also on Springfield High School Speak for Both. And of course, she's supported by, again, Principal Rhonda Jacobs, Assistant Principal Jennifer McQuaid. I don't know if we have an intro from Principal Jacobs or Assistant Principal McQuaid.
So Gabrielle's very new to us. She came to us from Mr. Ortiz. She was at Springfield High in the start of the school year, and she'll tell you more. She came to night school with us, and then she recently started with us, and she's a great addition to high school completion, and she was a wonderful student at Springfield High. So take it away, Gabrielle. I like to call her Lashes because she's got beautiful lashes.
Yeah, well, Ms. McQuaid, let me properly introduce Gary, because
Okay, sorry.
Springfield High. So Gabby loves video games and he loves computers, right? And wants to pursue a career, I'll say nurse, and would like to attend Westfield State University and eventually join the Air Force. So I just want to make sure we know that about Gabby. Take it away, Gabby. We'll get him.
Hi, how are you guys today?
Good. How are you doing, Gabrielle?
Good. Let's see. Good evening, members of the Springfield School Committee. My name is Gabrielle Cargill, and I am here this evening as a student from Springfield High School and high school completion to share with you some of the wonderful things that are happening at our schools, my teachers, my fellow students, and my hopes and dreams for the future. I started my high school journey at Central High School, and I transferred to Springfield High School, where my needs are at a learning could be met in a smaller environment. Springfield High School was a great setting. However, I noticed that I was not going to graduate my class.
Gabrielle, you're
High school
frozen a bit.
completion is a setup in sessions,
Okay.
so I can move
Thank you.
move at a and organize my transfer and made the move possible. I am new to high school completion as of this month, but everyone has been very welcoming. Some wonderful community building things we do at Springfield High School are PBIS activities like door decorating, pumpkin acrylic pouring, mindfulness, and peer mentoring. Earning Tiger Bucks are the highlights. I was honored to win a math award acknowledging my hard work and my excellent skills in the subject, as well as my ability to be productive, accountable, and kind. There have been several teachers I have enjoyed learning from. Miss Lanigan, who teaches English, helps me to be successful in reading, writing by giving me the extra work to push me to my fullest potential. Ms. Tremblay Lacroix is my mentor. She helped me become a better reader. We are like her kids. She feed us, clothe us, helped us be our best selves. She makes learning fun. Ms. Morris, the school nurse, keeps us healthy, safe. Ms. Martin, the science teacher at high school completion, makes us physics understandable. She's patient, listens, appreciates when we try. Our interventionist and office, Spencer O'Quinn, are respectful and always have our backs. My friend Josh is my brother. We are both Jamaican, and I was his first friend when he arrived. I helped him adapt to school in the United States. He reminds me of my country of origin and our culture. I never feel alone at school. I have him. I hope to take the support and knowledge I have gotten at Springfield High School and high school completion to accomplish my dreams of becoming a nurse. My plan is to attend Westfield University through the Urban Education Program and become a nurse. Furthermore, I would be honored to serve our country as a nurse for the U.S. military. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Gabrielle, very much. Thank you. We're going to continue the hit parade with Springfield High School, and again, Principal Rhonda Jacobs, Assistant Principal Roberto Ortiz are here to rep. Samuel Stevens, Keilani Lopez, Julio Vargas, Gabriel Cargill is on the docket again. Aiden Furkaris. If I pronounce it wrong, please correct. Oh, thank you. I got thumbs up from Assistant Principal. Thank you very much. So Madam Principal? You, you're
And
on
Mr.
mute.
Ortiz, sorry about that. Mr. Ortiz?
Okay.
Yep. So thank
Assistant
you, Ms.
Principal
Jacobs.
Ortiz?
Yep. Thank you, Mayor Sarno and Superintendent Warwick, for giving me the privilege to, present our kids that work really hard. And our first student is one of our 10th grade leaders, Sam Stevens. All we talk about is working out and weightlifting, so we relate to that, Take it away, Sam. I don't have to, I know we can't see you. You're having some tech issues, but I'm sure we can hear you. Take it away.
My camera isn't working. Sorry about that.
That's okay, Sam. We hear you loud and clear.
But thank you, Mr. Ortiz. And hi, I'm Samuel Stevens. Springfield High School is great because it's perfect for kids who struggle with ADHD and concentrating or grades. The teachers and staff are extremely kind and are proficient with the work they do. Teachers do understand you and will take the time to help you. The small classes, I think, are much better for students who struggle with concentration. And something I look forward to seeing is possibly theme days, to give some students the idea to show off cool clothes and a reason to get up and go to school. Being at Springfield High is great. Everyone knows you, which makes it much more comfortable to talk to students, staff, and teachers about anything. Springfield High School also feels like home. It's safe, it's comfortable, and all the teachers, staff are very kind. And you can really talk to them about anything. Mr. Ortiz is our principal, our principal, and he's definitely the best principal I've had through my whole school career. You can really relate to him, and in many ways. Another thing I look forward to is possibly some field trips, sport teams, would be great for possibly opening up careers for some students. I would also like to keep moving forward on making my grades better, and I've always wanted to go to the Marines and make it a career of mine.
Very good, Sam. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And good
Thank
luck.
you.
Continued success.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Nice job. Our next student is Kaylani Lopez. She's another 10th grader, and she loves to draw and listen to some music for fun. She wants to go to college, but is still undecided at the moment. Kaylani, you can unmute and take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Good afternoon, City of Springfield. My name is Kaylani Lopez, and I attend Springfield Alternative High School. Do not let the alternative part trick you. Since 9th grade, I am having a truly great experience. The teachers and interventionists have helped me through struggles such as online school. Mr. Serrano supports me to refocus and set myself a goal. He also laughs at my jokes, along with Miss Bird. Mr. Ware makes sure I get breakfast each day and likes to listen about what is going on. They are all truly inspiring. I would also like to thank all the teachers. One particular teacher who is no longer at our school is Ms. Carlson. Ms. Carlson took the time to review my work and encourage me to do my best. Ms. Murphy was super supportive too. I never feel judged. Ms. McQuall, the Read 180 and forensic science teacher, in my opinion, one of the best teachers in the school. She is very funny and likes to tell us how it is. My peers are amazing. Julio, who is here speaking today, is a great friend. He checks up on me after and before school to make sure I am doing well. Both Isaiah's B and R are both astonishing. Isaiah B likes to walk me home to make sure I get there safely. Isaiah R checks in on me throughout the day. He is a kind spirit. Our classrooms are small, so this makes learning easier. We are rewarded for good behavior with our own school money, Tiger Bucks. I have purchased gym time and dress down on Fridays. I am grateful for my Springfield High School family, and I look forward to graduating and a successful future. I appreciate the support of my family, especially my mother. I hope this gives you a good visual of our school and how everybody here is helpful and caring.
Nice job, Kaylani. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylani. Our next student up is one of our 12th grade leaders, Aiden Fikaris. He loves basketball, loves video games, and will love to pursue a career for the United States Postal Services. He's got his mindset. Go ahead, Aiden. Take it away.
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Good, Aiden, how are you?
Good.
Pretty good. I am here to tell you some things I really enjoy in school. I really like the Tiger Dollars, which is basically real money. Through PBIS, we earn them for being productive, accountable, and kind. For example, we can purchase dress down day or time in the gym during lunch. There are two teachers I can remember off the top of my head who really want me to succeed. Miss Montini and Miss Lacroix. They just push me the extra mile to get me through the day. Some days are tough, but they help me by guiding me. Springfield High School has helped me come closer to graduating because it is smaller and easier because we get one-on-one time with a lot of the teachers. We are able to go to night school, summer school, and take ingenuity classes. One class I liked but didn't think I would is Miss Small's physics class. She helped me a lot and it was very easy because it was always one-on-one. One day, I would like to work for the US Postal Office because I would receive very good benefits and you receive pretty decent pay. If it was not for my motivation, determination, hard work, along with my team at Springfield High School and my family, I would not be as successful today and soon to be graduate.
Very good,
Thank you.
Aiden. I still write letters and use stamps, so we could use you there. Good luck. Good luck. Who's next?
Yeah, nice job, Aiden. Our last student rep is Julio Vargas, who loves to play football, loves boxing, gaming, and wants to go to law school to become a lawyer. He's a 10th, one of our 10th graders. Go ahead, Julio, take it away.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me well? Yep, okay. My name is Julio Vargas, and I'm just excited to tell you about the amazing things Springfield High School has to offer and has done for me. Starting with the PBIS team, not only have they created a fluent system with the Tiger Bucks, they have a school store along with activities we can do with them, including buying gym time, gift cards, game room, and more. All the staff are dedicated to our education and helping us form a path after we graduate. A very important teacher for me is Mr. Serrano. He has been helping me since I was enrolled at Springfield High School. This is my first school year in Massachusetts, and he has helped me find extracurricular activities out of school, like boxing and football. He has also been helping me forge my own path after high school by giving me advice about colleges, making sure I stay focused, and giving me all the knowledge he has to offer. I'm also very grateful for Mrs. Sowers. She is so kind and emotional about her teaching. She makes sure she prepares us for the MCAS and any assignments we have to do, along with our future. She also has time if we need help or if we need time after school to finish an assignment. And overall, she is my favorite teacher. I'm just very grateful to be part of this school. I've just turned my whole life around. When I came from Waterbury CT, where I originally am from, I had 2 assault charges and no high school credits. But since I've been in Springfield High, I'm an honor roll student. I was able to take night school courses to make up some credits. I haven't been suspended or gotten into any trouble, and I have all the support I need, especially from Mrs. Bird, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Ware, Mr. Ortiz, and good friends Kaylani and Taven, who helped me keep pushing forward towards my goal. Thank you.
Way to go, Attorney Vargas. Very good. I understand that Felix Moya is back in the house again. Felix, are you back in the house? The voice?
Yeah, I am.
audio's- Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry for what happened earlier. My
Nothing to
computer
be
just
sor-
like
Nothing to be
completely shut
sorry
off.
about. That's not your fault. Technology.
Yeah. So where I left off, I think I was just talking about the one-on-one time we get with our teachers. That has always helped me personally because I'm the type of person to where if I'm in a big group and everybody's messing around, I always feel as if I have to mess around. So with it being more one-on-one in the smaller classes, I feel that I'm able to actually get my work done and actually focus on what I want to do. And all the teachers there, they're there to help me. And I always know it. Like they always make sure I can get my assignments done. If I'm behind on something, they always give it, they'll always let me take it home and finish it there, or they'll give me tips on how to make it faster for me to do it. They've always helped me, just like Miss Merritt the other day helped me out finishing a few assignments that I was late on sending in to be able so I could get a good grade on it. She left the grades open so I could get in and give her the papers. And I go to a recovery meeting every single day at Liberty Prep with Paul. He's awesome. He's the type of person where he's very blunt about things, but you can talk to him about anything and he'll understand. And he won't criticize you about none of it. He'll tell you how he feels about it, but he won't criticize you about it. He's a very good guy and I love talking to him. My story is, I'm just gonna get a little bit into my story for a little bit. My story is that I used to live in Pawtucket and I got wrapped up in everything, started smoking weed when I was young and it carried over. Then it turned into, some acid here, acid there. Then it turned into me popping pills. So I started using Xanax very heavily. And then it ended up for me that my mom found out. And so she said that there had to be something to do. So I got put into a program to Goodwin House and I stayed there for 65 days. Then got out, was clean for a while. Then I started smoking weed again. My mom didn't like it, so she sent me back on May 13th. I got out recently and started living with my grandmother on October 13th. I am officially 1 year and 2 months clean off benzos. And thank you guys. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Miss McQuaid, because even though she has a lot on her plate, she always comes to us when we need it and always helps us out when we need it. And that's it for me. Have a good day, everyone.
Felix, I got to say, but it takes a lot of fortitude. Let me strip it, a lot of guts to make those statements and to show others that you can succeed and you can make it a day at a time. And Liberty Prep, we're very proud of. We took some heat when we put this together about 14, 15 years ago, because young people like you want that second chance and are going to make good on that second chance. And takes a lot of guts, my friend, what you said, and that's going to resonate to other people. I had to say that. So God bless you.
Thank you.
One day at a time, Felix. We're all proud of you.
One day at a time.
Thanks, school committee, for indulging. God bless you. That concludes the student representatives. Nice job. Great singing tonight, too. Thank you, Bailey, DeStefano, and Kayla Staley. You can hear Kayla Staley at Union Station, by the way, with Vanessa Ford. So, hey, that's great. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy New Year. Continued success, kids, and I know the school committee members really appreciate you. God bless. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Great
holidays.
job.
That concludes the student representatives, and I believe we can roll right into the regularly scheduled meeting. Call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Present.
Here.
Present, just for the record, Attorney Peter Murphy's has a family obligation. Ms. Gresham, we wish her good health and good luck in upcoming surgery. And Maria Perez has a family obligation too. They send their regrets. We're going to stand for a moment of silence. We will dedicate that to Alexa Angeles Medina. Just left the wake a little while ago, spent time with her family, Superintendent Warwick and Principal Pokars and I. It was a beautiful video. It was a beautiful young lady, and may God rest her soul. We'll take a moment of silence for our Central High student. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. And again, I know from Superintendent Warwick and all school committee members, we want to wish you again a Merry Christmas and Happy Kwanzaa and Happy New Year and good health. We'll now move into approval of the minutes. This is approve the minutes of December 2nd, 2021, regular session, and December 9th, 2021, special working session. Any questions or comments? Ms. Hurst? I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Is it possible to separate those 2 minutes out so that we can vote, or at least I can vote on the December 2nd? I was
Sure.
present at December 9th.
Sure. With council, we can separate those. Okay, let's take a separate vote. Thank you for the clarification, Attorney Phelps. Thank you, Ms. Hurst. So approval of the minutes of December 2nd, 2021 regular session. Is any discussion? All those in favor? I believe we have to continue to take a roll call vote on these because of Zoom. Okay. Any discussion? If none, is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Conzer, second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Hurst. Roll call vote is required. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, more than sufficient vote. This matter passes. Thank you. December 9th is a 2021 special working session. If there's any discussion on that, I don't know if they're unable to vote, Attorney Phelps, we won't have a quorum to vote on that. Okay, all right, so let's table that because we only have 2 votes for that. Voting items, we have none. Informational items, we're going to be presentation award to Dennis Duquette and Madeline Landro, Mass Mutual Foundation, who have just been absolutely fantastic, especially to our school system, but to the city of Springfield. Mass Mutual has been an outstanding corporate citizen for about 170 years now. And they're always there when we need them, and we deeply appreciate that. Superintendent Warwick.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to talk about Mass Mutual being a great corporate citizen, and Dennis Duquette and Maddie Landro, who just have really supported our programs over the years, and specifically our City Connects program with a lot of the mental health issues that we've been facing. This program has been very, very helpful to provide wraparound services for all of our students and a lot of the really important mental health services that are always needed, but during this pandemic, it really added to the mix here and made it more difficult for us. So again, Mass Mutual stepped up big time, and Dennis Duquette was behind that and working with Madeline Landro. So I wanted to recognize both of them and Mass Mutual for their help in us expanding the City Connects program at a time when our kids really need the services and our family really need the services. And Mass Mutual since 2017 has provided $3.8 million towards City Connects, while they've been supporting other programs for us too. And the mayor hit the nail on the head when he talked about a great corporate citizens, how great Mass Mutual has been. And like I say, I think that during this time, there's nothing more important than trying to meet the needs of our students and families. And this help really enabled us to really step up and meet those needs at an opportune time. So I wanted to,
Madam Clerk, could you please recognize Ms. Perez was able to make it. Family, that's great. So Maria is here, and I know Maddie Landro is here for Mass Mutual, and I know Dennis Duquette, I think he's on the Zoom also. So before we give you your award, we'd love to hear some, well, first of all, the school committee members, if you have any comments you'd like to make, and then we'll turn it over to Mr. Duquette, and Ms. Landro will bring up to speak also. Okay, hearing
I
none.
just want to echo what the
Vice
superintendent
Chair
said. Mass Mutual has been with us, has stood behind the system for a long, long time. And they're not just throwing money, they think about their investment and they look at things that they think will help children. And they invest very well in the children of Springfield. And I think we need to, I'm glad we're acknowledging how much they do for the children of this city.
Thank you, Vice Chair Collins. Any
Mr. Mayor?
Ms. Perez?
Yes, I have to say that Mass Mutual tremendously is involved in the community. I think through the years that they have provided financial assistance to the community, they're in tune of the needs of the community. And I think that I personally give thanks to Mass Mutual for the outstanding job that they do when it comes to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Any other questions or comments? Ms. Hurst?
Thank you, Your Honor. So I echo the sentiments of my colleagues with respect to how great Mass Mutual has been to the community and especially the public school system. But I'd be remiss if I didn't necessarily acknowledge Maddie's specific contributions and her recent accomplishment of being a woman of impact. But you don't go very many places without hearing about Mass Mutual and not seeing Maddie there. And I know how hard that she has worked and how much she cares about the kids, and in particular, those that come from her specific community. She talked about that last week at her event, and I know that Assistant Superintendent Martinez has also talked about that. And what resonated the most was when they told the story about how she pulled up from a meeting that she had been at out of town, and she had kids at her house waiting to show her her report card. And to me, that really spoke to community, and it spoke to who you are, and that our kids in particular, our Black and brown kids, need to see women like you doing that work both professionally and from a community perspective. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hurst. Any other questions or comments? Ms. Taylor?
Well, I've worked with Maddie for many years in the community, and I just continue to be amazed at how you continue to find the energy to do everything that you do. So keep doing what you're doing, because it is definitely not being overlooked. I know people at very high levels recognize it, but to me, when kids recognize it, or when the families that we care so much about recognize it, it's the greatest joy. And so I'm just so happy for you and thankful for Dennis as well for everything that he's been doing and the work that I've continued to see you do in the community as well. So we love you and we thank you, and our kids thank you too.
Maddie, Life Bridge, the old South End Community Center. I remember those old days, and I know that Maddie's here, and Maddie, we'll bring you up after Dennis speaks to say a few words and give you the plaque. But let me turn it over to Dennis Duquette, who has been very influential in hearing the causes and needs of the city of Springfield. We deeply appreciate that. So without further ado, Mr. Duquette.
Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. I presume you can all hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And you know, before I say words more broadly about the work that we're supporting through City Connects, let me add my voice to praise for Maddie Landro, because she is not only an integral part of my team, but she's just a joy to work with, as you know. And you know, you're right when you talk about the level of energy and the passion that she brings, not only to our work broadly, but specifically to Springfield and to the community where she lives. And so, you know, she's a tremendous asset. We were thrilled that she was recognized as a woman of impact. we've known that for quite some time. So I'm glad that Business West finally caught up to the rest of us who've known that about Maddie for as long as we've known her. So thank you to her for the work, and she'll be up in a minute just to talk about her perspective on this. But this investment in City Connects is really it's an investment in our kids. It's an investment in their families. And it's an investment in Springfield because children do represent the future of Springfield. And so we want to make sure that we are able to impart positive influences through the education system at an early part of their lives. And so City Connects is just a remarkable program. The amount of energy that they put into the schools and the scale that they have now built into the schools is really remarkable. Their results speak for themselves. I think the attendance trends that go up, the academic performance, the matriculation rate of kids who really benefit from the City Connects program are astounding. And so, it was something that we saw, 3-4 years ago, and we're really excited about. And we've only been, continuously impressed with the results that they post. And I think for me and for Mass Mutual and the foundation, one of the great things about this story in particular this year is that with this grant to support the City Connects program in 2021 and 2022, that brings the school system within Springfield to a scale to which now they can sustain the program with state funding. That is a huge accomplishment for the school district and Commissioner Warwick and Lydia and the whole team. It's quite an accomplishment. As a funder, we're always looking to have to create positive change, but sustainable change. But doesn't mean we can fund everything in ad infinitum. And so to be able to support the school district and to the point where now we're at a scale that they are allowed to get state funding to sustain this program, that is a congratulations to all of you and to the work that you've done in promoting this program and helping it live and thrive within the Springfield Public Schools. So I think we've reached a really great pinnacle right now in this City Connect story with the Springfield Public Schools in this particular year with this grant and how you will be carrying this forward for years to come. So thank you for the collaboration on this. And we're very excited and delighted and happy to make this very important investment on behalf of the children and families within the Springfield Public Schools. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Maddie. Maddie was really instrumental in getting this last grant. She worked very closely with you all in the school department and also with our partners at City Connects to really fashion the grant proposal and to get it over the finish line. She did a tremendous amount of work on this. And so I'm going to let her speak to that. And again, just accept my thanks on behalf of the Mass Mutual Foundation and Mass Mutual in general for this support and for this acknowledgement.
Dennis, thank you. And thank you to Roger Crandall, and tell your brother, Mr. Baseball, I said hello too. Maddie, you're up.
Thank you, Dennis.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you everyone for their heartwarming remarks. It was a wonderful evening to receive that award and to be recognized, but also kudos to those that nominated me, right? That took the moment to share their comments. And just to add to or echo off of Dennis, this collaboration and this relationship regarding the families and the students' needs, this is what we do, right? It's not just about the collaboration, but to work in a transparent environment, to understand what the needs are and how we can fulfill those needs. But again, working in a collaborative effort. So I love the work that I do in my community, and I'll continue to do that. And, hey, Dennis, thank you for creating this platform for me. And we'll continue to do this work moving forward.
Thank you, Maddie. And we have you could work out with this plaque, Dennis and Maddie, by the way, too. It's pretty heavy. We have from the Springfield Public Schools and School Committee, all school committee members and superintendent will recognize Mass Mutual Foundation, Dennis Duquette, President, and Maddie Landro, Program Engagement Manager, with appreciation for outstanding community partnership through generous support of City Connects program to benefit the Springfield Public School students and their families. We were originally supposed to present this to you on the 18th day of November 2021, but obviously we couldn't do that at the time. So we are now presenting this to you today, December 16th, 2021, with extreme appreciation and gratitude. Maddie?
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dennis.
Maddie.
Thanks, Maddie. Thanks, Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. We'll now move to B, technology update. Superintendent Warwick, please.
You have Paul Foster waiting in the wings here to give us an update on our take-home program and how we're doing with all that and our proposal for the execution of it in the future.
All right, Stats, you're on.
Great, thanks. Good to see you all. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect.
Great. So as the superintendent said, we have been thinking about and reflecting on the progress we made over the last year, getting laptops in the hands of all students, and thinking about ways we can even improve the program as we go forward. And so that's what I'm going to share with you briefly tonight. So just a quick reminder, our current program in the wake of the pandemic, as you know, we were 1-to-1 in 3 to 12 with laptops when the pandemic began. And within a couple of weeks, we were 1-to-1 from K to 12. And currently in the program, the students receive the next available laptop. So a new student comes into the district, or it's the start of a new year. Schools just take whatever is the next laptop on the shelf. It might be new, it might be used. And as you know, there are no fees for the program at this time. We eliminated the take-home fee at the start of the pandemic. And the way we deal with sort of sense of ownership and consequences is if the student loses or damages a laptop that is assigned to them, they lose take-home privileges, and they also get an older model as the replacement. And schools have a pool of loaners that they provide to students who forget their laptop at home or they forget to charge their laptop overnight. Some of the challenges that have surfaced over the last year, and certainly last year was a year where we were in remote learning and we wanted to do everything we could to make sure every student had a device at all times for obvious reasons. But one of the things we've witnessed is a little bit of a lack of sense of ownership. And one of the reasons we think that happens is because students are never guaranteed a brand new device. Because students get the next device on the shelf, there's not a promise at any point that, being handed a brand new device and being told this is your device for the next 4 years. And so that has some consequences for loss and damage. Last year, as we were going through, obviously, unprecedented circumstances, we had to repair about 9,500 laptops, student devices, which is about more than a third of our total fleet, which is obviously a high rate of loss and damage. The other piece, and we talked a little about this a few meetings ago around the iPads in the pre-K, but in the earliest grades, there's also some question about the value of take-home, simply from an instructional point of view, because we don't necessarily want students spending a lot of time on devices, especially in those early grades. And the last piece that's been challenging is the complexity around movement of devices in transition grades. And what I mean by that is what we did last year. At the end of a student was ending their 5th grade year, they kept their laptop and they took it with them to their middle school. But inevitably that creates some circumstances where a student might come into 6th grade and say, I need a laptop. And the middle school is wondering, well, you were in Springfield Public Schools last year, where's your laptop from last year? They're saying the school collected it. And so that you end up with a lot of back and forth like that. So what we're planning to do, and I should have said this at the start, everything I'm talking about tonight is for next school year. So that for the 22-23 school year. So none of this would be taking effect during this school year. The first thing is making a shift in the grade levels that participate in take home. So this is just about take home. Our plan at K and 1 is to continue to provide 1 laptop for every student, but they would be in a cart in the K and 1 classrooms, and they would just stay in the classroom overnight because again, the instructional piece, it's not clear that there's as much value or even that we want students when they're going home to be spending the time on the device. In grades 2 to 12, we would continue providing a take-home laptop to all students. In terms of that piece I talked about with creating ownership, we would shift to providing a brand new device to students at 2nd, 6th, and 9th grade. And so the value there is we can say to students at 2nd, 6th, and 9th, this is your laptop for the next 4, or in the case of middle school, for the next 3 years. And they would have that sense of, this is my device, and building that increased sense of ownership. And certainly wanting to take care of it, because obviously in a situation where a student then loses or that device gets damaged, they're going to be going back to an older used one. The last thing this does for us is it eliminates this issue in the transition grades, because As fifth graders exit their elementary school, they would return their device. As eighth graders exit middle, they would return their device. As 12th graders graduate, they would return their device. Those now older devices, because the students would have had them for 3 or 4 years, become the new loaner pool for schools, and they become the replacement pool. So those are the old devices that are handed to a student if their device goes missing or is damaged. So just as a visual of what this means in terms of the change, you can see right now, as I said, all students are getting the next on the shelf laptop when they come in at all grades. We would move to a classroom set of one-to-one devices in K and 1. There would be those moments at 2nd, 6th, and 9 when students would be handed a brand new device and given that message, this is your device, for elementary, middle, and high school respectively. And then at the other grades, students would, if a student is coming in new to the district, they would get a used computer in those other grades. And one last slide, this is going by grade level, but just to illustrate what is happening at the end of the year and also purchase here. So one of the things, this will take a little bit of time for us to implement, but we already asset tag all our laptops, which means we put little stickers on multiple places on the device. Those stickers already indicate what year a laptop was purchased. We're actually we're gonna borrow from the Registry of Motor Vehicles and go with the inspection sticker route and color code those stickers. So it's very easy for schools to know, okay, the orange sticker, that's a 3-year-old device. So you would know the 3-year-old device in an elementary school, we're going to give to a 4th grader because it needs to last for 4th grade and 5th grade. It needs to last for 2 more years. And so just doing some things like that to make sure we're kind of keeping the movement of devices and making sure that students always have a device that's within 4 years life cycle, unless again, they lose or damage it, in which case they may be getting one that's 5 or 6 years old. And so that's what we're planning. Again, this is for the 22-23 school year, but we wanted to make sure and share that with you.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. Thanks, Stats. Any questions? or
And
comments?
this came through the technology subcommittee, so I didn't know if Ms. Monroe Naylor wanted to speak to it.
Ms. Naylor?
Actually, Paul did a very good job of giving us a thorough overview. We had a really good meeting yesterday, asked a lot of questions and got clarification, but I think this is a great idea. And I'm just excited. First of all, I just can't imagine the headache of trying to do this with 25,000 kids. And so I just give you my praises, Paul, and your team. But I also do love this idea of really bringing in some type of systemic approach to it so that everybody understands how to do this effectively and equitably.
Thank you, Ms. Naylor. Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. We'll move to reports of standing committees. Student relation, parent concerns. Again, Ms. Gresham is unavailable this evening. Building and Maintenance Committee, Vice Chair Collins.
Oh, no report at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Vice Chair Collins. Legislative Contracts Committee, Ms. Perez.
No report at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Curriculum Programs Committee, Ms. Hurst, please.
No report at this time. Your
Thank you,
Honor.
Ms. Hurst. Budget Finance Committee, Mr. Collins, Vice Chair Collins.
Yeah, we met and we went over a couple of, an audit and an investigation report. And it was done very thoroughly. It was done by our is it internal audit?
Internal
right?
audit, Young, no, yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually, it wasn't, the first half of the meeting was actually not new to the people because we had dealt with it before in executive session, so we knew about it. The other audit dealt with the, I hate to use the word, but big white gift cards, because when you say that word, people think that you're giving out. What they're used for is to buy supplies for parent-teacher meetings, but buy supply for meetings at schools. But that's the way they give them to the school, and they're called a gift card. And he had a couple of suggestions that the business department is looking at changing the operation just to make it run more smoothly.
Thank you, Vice Chair Collins. Any questions or comments?
Can I ask what
Sure.
the issue was? What's the issue? What was the issue with the gift cards? What
He
prompted
just,
the audit?
it was one of they choose things every, like on a 4-year cycle. This just came up that they wanted to do an audit. Some of the people in some of the schools are not keeping the records as well as they should. And actually, he didn't think it should fall on our business office. There's way too many schools. If a school gets a card, they should be keeping good records and the receipts for everything that they bought. And he encouraged the business department to make sure that responsibility goes to the people who actually have the cards. Because it's almost too mammoth a task for one person at central office to try to monitor.
And it's sometimes also, it does, just the checks and balances, routine audit, nothing negligent.
Yeah,
at
it
all.
wasn't that someone brought a complaint. It was one of the routine things that he had decided to
And,
audit.
and sometimes there's, families go through tragedies and stuff, and we will help out with food and clothing and other things that we do on that. So it was just a routine, nothing that, that was negatively done, but better to have the checks and balances on it. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Technology Committee, Ms. Naylor,
We just did our report, sir. Thank you.
thank you. Hi, School Safety Committee, Ms. Gresham again is unavailable. Special Subcommittee, Staff Demographics, Ms. Perez.
No report at this
Thank you,
time.
Ms. Perez. Nathaniel Claudio, a report of the student representative school committee, Nathaniel Claudio from Putnam Vocational Technical Academy. He's been very, very patient, and he always, his attendance has been very, very good, even in these challenging times. Nathaniel, are you on? Okay, well, you know what? He deserves a pass because he's been faithful, very faithful, Nathaniel. And if you are watching by any chance, we wish you continued success. Report of the superintendent, please.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to recognize our Central High School football team. I put an article in your packages on that, but 3 consecutive state titles, which is absolutely incredible. The third title was when MIAA moved us up to Division I this last year. A lot of people didn't think we could compete at that level and turned it around and won that 3rd consecutive state title in Division I. In the semifinals, beating Franklin, which was rated number 1 in the state before the Central game, but not after the Central game. And then the championship, again, they played a regional Catholic school, Central Catholic, which recruits from a whole region, and beat us earlier in the fall. Several of us were there watching the game. Fabulous game, 2 great teams, but Central turned it around and beat them in the championship game. A lot of us would have been there, but we had a school committee meeting that night, but our heart was with them, and it was streamed, so a lot of people saw it, but the kids were absolutely fabulous. And it's not just winning the titles and winning the games. What is more important is the way the staff at Central supports our kids. And when you talk to the coaches, it's not just talking about X's and O's, it's what scholarships kids are getting, what's their grade point average so they can move forward. And the kids know how much the staff cares about them. The coaching staff, the teaching staff, the administrative staff. So it's just been a pleasure to watch the team evolve over the years and to win 3 straight state championships. Absolutely incredible. So very, very proud of the kids. And I'll tell you, watching the competition, having seen these teams, absolutely incredible and at a high level. Our coach, Brower, just want to congratulate him and wish him all the best. He was recruited to go to UMass, where he was an All-American, and work with Don Brown, who coached him when he played at UMass. And we wish him well. He's going to be a defensive coach for Don Brown at UMass, but very confident in the team at Central that we'll keep this program going. And reading some of the posts today, on signing day, Joe Griffin signed with BC, which was really cool. And what a catch he made in the semifinal game. Was one of the better catches I've ever seen in my life. But I'm sure he's going to do well at BC. And I guess his younger brother also has a full boat to BC. So just congratulations to the Griffin family. Pop Watson, the quarterback, one of our coach's sons, Max Preps Player of the Year in the state of Massachusetts. So congratulations to him and his family. So great story, and just to see the kids doing so well and the future for these kids, how it's so improved because of the program. So congratulations to Central High School, the home of scholars and champions, for just another great job.
Superintendent Ward, can I just say too?
Absolutely.
So they're not only excelling on the field, but off field, but they're gentlemen, young men. When you speak with Pop and the Griffin boys, very respectful. got a good head on their shoulders, and a tremendous program's been built there. I know the young ladies, Miss Hurst and Miss Naylor, proud graduates of Central High, are very proud of it, but they really built one hell of a organization there on and off the field, and they've become a powerhouse. But as Superintendent Warwick indicated, and with strong grades too, a pipeline for college. Full boats, BC, Pop Watson, Michigan, all the on it. Right there, education. You never know what happens further down the road too, but so it's just tremendous. And I know that coach, interim coach Watson, who does a great job with our hoop team, does a great job football team. He did mention, when we go to the games, if we can make the games, we're on the sidelines. It means a lot to the kids. We did say, we were telling the score during the school committee meeting, and the little notes and stuff. He goes, the kids appreciate that, and but just a lot of good about the city of Springfield Urban Center. Sometimes you don't hear that. It's always negativity, but they're good young men. So I'm sorry for the interruption on that. I don't know if the Central High girls here want to say something too.
Well, of course. And I have my central mask on. I purposely wore
Good
it.
move.
I mean, I think that, what resonates the most is the fact that they are truly scholars and champions. And I think that that is really important. And I would hope that the community and that the media doesn't lose sight of the fact that they're just not performing on the field, but they're performing in the classroom. And I think that that's really important, and just two really great ingredients for a wonderful recipe for their futures. And I think that we have caring teachers all throughout the district, but having been at Central, it's a family that you can always count on. 20-something years later, I still have great relationships with some of the folks that I had as teachers. I just spent Thanksgiving weekend with Ms. De Carvalho, who was my cheerleading coach over 20-something years ago. And so I just think it really speaks volumes to the people who are dedicated to our kids.
Thank you, Ms. Hurst. And Principal Tokar says that all the time. 1840 Roosevelt Ave, that door is always open to the alumni. Ms. Naylor, another Central High.
Yes, that is so true. And one thing I could say, a shout out to Principal Tokars, because he thought I was a student the other day at the game. I had to take a call and I had to go into the outside door. He was going to throw me out. And I was like, I pulled my mask. He's like, oh, I thought you were somebody else. And he said he thought I was a student. So first, I want to thank you for thinking I was a student. But I'm just so proud of all of the students in general. All of our student athletes, I think, are just doing an exceptional job, but especially our students at Central, who are just working so hard on the field, working so hard in the classroom. It takes dedication, it takes discipline, and it takes having people around you that really believe in you and can pull the best out of you for them to do the work that they're doing and still be able to stay focused enough to get scholarships. And there's so many kids that I know that have received full boat scholarships coming out of Central. Yeah. And it's phenomenal. I don't really have the words, but I do have a question. One of the teachers said to me, do we do parades for our kids? And I'm like, I don't know, but if somebody got 3 years in a row of, Super Bowl, I think that's something that, could be thought about, because these kids are doing such a great job. And I would dare say we would have had 4 if we wouldn't have had COVID come in and destroy us that year, because they were on their way to another championship easily. But they're just doing such great work. And I don't think it's just about the students. I think it's about the people, the adults around them. They just know how to get the best out of our kids. And so, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep loving on our kids, keep inspiring them, keep pushing them into the students. Just keep doing what you're doing, because we notice you and a lot of other people notice you, and you are special, and sky is the limit.
Thank you, Ms. Naylor. Superintendent Warwick again.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, Vice
I'm
Chair
sorry.
Collins, I'm sorry.
I'm not a Central grad, although I am from the precursor of tech.
That's right. Glasgow Tech.
I'm always amazed at all of the teachers at Central, but the sports staff, especially, the odds are astronomical for when you look at the number of high school students in the country going to the pros. They keep these kids focused that the best thing that can happen to you is get a college education by participating in sports, and you can't do that if you're not both academic and sport. They really keep that focus in the kids, and that's good for all of our children. And I commend them for keeping that focus.
Thank you, Vice Chair Collins. Any other comments on Central?
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Perez?
sitting here and hearing from my colleagues, the students, the bar is so high for them. And having to create that balance, when it comes to the scholar and to the and to being 3 times in a row. And, I could imagine, because it's not as easy as it said we sitting here. I mean, and it takes, like I say, real teachers, like the teachers in Central High, they have their own needs, personal needs, and still they gotta have that bar raised so high that I commend them hardly, because I know having coming from a family in Puerto Rico that in the sport, the bars are very high. So, congratulations to them.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Good point. Before I turn it back to Superintendent Warwick. Danny, when we were just up there to honor them, weight room, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So they get to go to classes, 4 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
That's when they do it.
Yeah, and they talked about the hard work, the coach talked about just the hard work and how proud they were, the kids with the hard work they put in, because they outworked everybody.
Yeah.
And that was just, I think, a good life lesson. When you outwork folks, you can achieve, and absolutely incredible. So very, very proud of them, and very proud of the school, and very proud of the city. I told the kids that the entire city was behind them. Continuing working hard to try to get out and do a lot of school visits. I've been out to 59 visits out to 39 schools, and again, want to commend our staff. They're working incredibly hard under some really difficult circumstances, but making sure that we're keeping open for our kids. We're providing a quality education, trying to manage all the health and safety protocols, and accelerate student learning to deal with the learning loss all at the same time. And just want to say thank you to the staff for working so hard. They've just done an incredible job. Along with that, because of the high numbers we've experienced in Springfield and all the challenges, keeping everything going in dealing with the deputy commissioner and our nursing supervisor, we're going to have the National Guard help CIC, which is helping us with our test and stay program, so we can keep our kids moving forward in school. Just so we'll have the number of people to help us administer the program, so we can keep our kids in school and do all the contact tracing and everything. The National Guard has been tremendous everywhere, and they should be here next week helping us. Again, that's in conjunction with CIC, in conjunction with the state, with all the help they've given us as well. So they'll be here, they'll be on site, and they'll be helping us. Our chief nurse, Jean Clancy, has worked very, very closely with DESE, making sure that we're doing everything we should do and doing everything in an efficient manner. And again, that help was offered, and we took them up on it, and they should be arriving, like I say, next week.
And I want to commend the superintendent on that. We're finding with Commissioner Helen Carlton Harris, it's nearly about 60%. There's that get 30 and under the 20. And then we're catching up with our students, getting their shots and stuff. That's where the delta is, right there. That's where the delta is on the increases. That age for catching up with our students, with the vaccinations, and 30 and under the 20 somethings who would just don't want to get vaccinated.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
just,
delta. I commend the superintendent.
Thank you, Mayor. I think the key piece for the public and everyone is this vaccination piece is the key for us. We can do all the mitigation strategies, but the vaccination piece is the key. And just trying to encourage the entire public to get behind this vaccination process, because I think we'll be able to move forward in a safer manner as soon as we can get that executed, but that's a challenge for us now. We're going to need everyone's help with that.
Can I ask a question,
Sure, go
Mr.
ahead,
Mayor?
Mr.
So, Mr. Superintendent, can you tell us a little bit more? So they're gonna come in and help, like, to actually do the test, or are they gonna contract trace? Like,
They're gonna
what are they coming
help
in to
us
do?
execute, working in conjunction with the nurses. They're not nurses.
More
but
personnel.
It's more administrative support.
Okay.
Make phone calls, help us collect everything, help with the whole process. We just need more hands to do the volume we need to do. And the state recognized that, and we're glad to offer us the help.
And is that?
And they've been great in every capacity they've helped in across the state. Rave reviews about the National Guard.
And is that because the numbers have gone up? I know that they've gone up in the city, but have they gone up specifically in the schools? Is that why we're saying, okay, look, before it gets even more out of control, we need to.
Yeah, the numbers are high in the school and they
Okay.
follow the city rates, and that upward trajectory. So, and so we can stay on top of it.
Yeah.
And that day respond, so we take care of what we need to do, so the spread is mitigated. So, a good idea. They've been good support, like I say, everywhere else they've been. And we tried to go as long as we could with just CIC. CIC is also going to ramp up support and help us also.
That's the contracting agency.
That's
Yes,
the contracting agency.
through the state,
Yes.
the state.
Yeah, but the extra pairs of hands will be very, very helpful for our nursing staff and our administrative staff to deal with it all. So we're looking forward to getting that help, and we'll keep working at it. But the vaccination piece, I can't emphasize enough how important that is to help us with this, and just encourage everyone to follow up on that for your neighbors, your families, for everybody, how important it is.
And so, Mr. Mayor, where did you say that the delta was?
The delta is that 30 and under, but the 20 somethings, and then catching up with the students getting their shots. That's and not in a positive way, that's the sweet spot. That's the delta. It's about 60% there. And then when you talk to the hospital administrators, the majority of people who are hospitalized are unvaccinated. So that's why the superintendent bringing in the National Guard, all hands on deck here, so we can nip this in the bud. But unlike it's going to be almost 2 years when we get to March, we were flying the plane as we were building it. We have the vaccinations are the key, and the boosters. It's proven to work, but that's where the spots when I get the stats. It's that 30 under the 20 somethings. And then the catching up with the students, parental permission and getting their shots. That's where it is. That's the bulk right there.
We're also going to work with trying to set up some more clinics to help families with the kids getting the vaccination. So we're working on that as well.
So will they only come next week, or will they resume after we return from break?
No, I think the plan is to stay with us.
Oh, they will stay with us.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
stay.
So it's-
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have said that, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got to hammer away
Yeah,
on it.
we until we can get by this surge. And we don't know when that is. I know last year, things started to subside in January after the holidays. We're hoping that occurs, but again, we'll stay with it until we can beat this thing. But the vaccination piece is going to be a key piece in helping us beat this. But thrilled to get the help. SC's been very supportive. The state's been very supportive. So, and last but not least, I wanted to give Lydia a shout out for all her work, working with Mass Mutual, pushing on the City Connects. I think at this time, the mental health services are so important, and Lydia worked really hard behind the scenes with Maddie and the team bringing that home, and those services are so needed. So thank you, Lydia, and our assistant superintendent.
Superintendent Martinez, what do you?
Just back on the vaccinations for,
Vice Chair Collins, yes.
I mean, what we're living through is the Thanksgiving surge,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of us thought would happen. it's not the new variant. It's all Delta basically here.
Yeah.
And what scares me is we've got Christmas break coming
That's
again.
right.
Yeah.
And we're going to have families gathering and some of them vaccinated and not, and I hope we don't see a really, really even worse surge in January when we get back, but I'm afraid we could.
Well, that's what they predicted today, earlier today
Yeah.
was what I read, is that they're predicting one in January as well, mid-January.
That initial, when we return, will be when we'll see the Christmas piece, and then hopefully it'll subside after that. But we need the help, we need the staff, and you know, our nursing staff needs all the support we can give them, because they've worked very hard. And like I say, CIC is ramping up also, so I think that's will meet the need. But again, this is a community issue, and the vaccinations have to be a part of the solution.
Yeah, and it's like, again, whether I tell people, you know, people want to wear masks, fine, don't ostracize them at all, but mask or no mask, it's got to be public health. You have people that are, you know, playing politics with this, and that goes to vaccination, and you know, have to move. Hopeful that people start moving away from that, but could see the surge. Then they did say after that, we hope that there could be a drop. So we're trying to do all hands on deck right now.
That concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Superintendent Warwick. Any questions or comments, Superintendent's report? Or thanks for the interaction on that and the update from the school committee members.
Excuse
Any-
me, I do have a question,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
We received some notifications about classrooms that were in quarantine. And my question about that is, how are we still continuing the learning process for kids if the classrooms are shut down due to the COVID quarantines?
Yeah, we've had to shut down some preschools, so we're relying on staff to provide work and do the best they can, contacting the families to follow through with them on the work. We've had to shut down some preschools, but very few actually, and we're going to have them back in as quick as we can also due to the work of the nursing staff. But we're asking the staff, and we've provided help with the staff at every school to reach out to families and go through the assignments that we've been able to provide. A little different in preschool because,
right,
you know, but that's where we've been at. And, you know, with 3 and 3-year-olds, especially, the whole mask piece, the staying away, you know, that kind of thing, of course, has been harder to manage. So the preschools have been, you know, the more difficult situation, but we're still going to do the test and stay where we can. But we've had to shut down a few just because we're nervous about it spreading further. But following through, having the schools follow through with the parents and providing some work. Yeah.
Okay, so they're providing worksheets or something like that to the kids?
They have the iPads too. We have the iPads out, pre-K and K too.
Okay, so they're still doing work. It's just they're at home. So it's not as if they're doing Zoom or anything like that. It's just.
No, and we're not
Yeah.
doing Zoom because the concurrent is very difficult. And for
Right.
preschool teachers, I would say the concurrent is next to impossible.
Right.
But there is way to follow through with folks, so we're encouraging that.
Okay,
And we're again working to get them back in as fast as we can also.
okay.
Thank you, Ms. Naylor.
So
Ms. Hurst?
I guess I wanted to better understand. So I get it that the preschoolers aren't keeping their masks on as much, or it's more difficult. But have we seen that kind of spread in any of the other grades, or has it been solely just the little kids?
Yeah, the ones we felt we needed to quarantine have all been preschool so far. Not to say it will stay that way, but that's what's
that's
occurred
where
so
we've
far.
seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Hurst. Any other questions or comments, Superintendent's report? Okay, hearing none, unfinished business, please.
I actually have something under unfinished business.
Go ahead, Ms.
Mr.
Hurst.
Mayor. I mean, considering our conversation about the vaccines, just wondering, are we going to be able to have a discussion about virtual participation? Is that going to come up under a particular subcommittee? What's going to happen considering we are seeing these surges?
Virtual,
Even if we adopt something temporarily, are we not going to address the fact that it's very possible that any one of us could find ourselves in a position where we may need to be quarantining? Especially, I'm thinking about what the superintendent just said, and that I have little kids that are in the district, and one in particular that's not too far removed from pre-K. So how do we ensure that we still are able to participate?
You're talking about school committee members?
Yeah.
School committee,
the
school
Adoption of
committee.
that section of the law. I'm not even sure what subcommittee it should go through. I'm thinking it should be the whole committee. I know that Attorney Phelps sent us out a
He
memo.
did.
When everybody reads it, I think what we
Attorney
should do
Phelps,
is,
please.
I think when everybody reads the memo, I think one of the first couple of meetings in January, we should address this. I think I agree with you, Mrs. Hurst. God forbid one of us get exposed and we have to be quarantined, hopefully not sick. We'd like to be able to participate remotely. And I think we can do it if we adopt a policy. So I would say one of the first couple of meetings in January, maybe we can even discuss it at the working session. I know right now at the working session, Glenn Kuchar is going to come in because we have at least one new member. We have one new member and kind of review school committee roles, but we could have a second item on there. That might be an opportune time. Because I agree with you. I brought it up a number of years ago when there wasn't a lot of interest in it, but I think we should adopt it. I agree. There's going to come a time where one of us is going to need to participate remotely. And we should, while we have the technology, obviously much better than we did before, I think we ought to entertain it as quickly as
At
possible.
least have a discussion about it with a potential vote. I mean, if folks don't want it, that's one thing, but I think that we should at the very least be able to consider it.
We can add that to the working session since we're all going to be there together.
I
And
would ask.
that's what,
Good
the
idea.
second meeting in January?
Good idea.
So we'll add it to that working session.
Great.
Attorney Phelps, could you just clarify a little bit on the subject Ms. Hurst brought up?
Sure. The open meeting law requires a vote by the public body to permit remote participation. And there are other conditions regarding remote participation. For example, the member needs to notify in advance of inability to be at the meeting, whether in advance is in the eye of the beholder. If someone comes down with the flu in the afternoon, it would be a couple hours notice. But if somebody identifies that they're going to be away and unable to attend due to either a family or a business commitment, to give notice to the chair of the inability to attend in person. Does require, still under the open meeting law, and physical presence of a quorum. Now that's been relaxed through April of 2022 under the governor's executive order. But there still are requirements with regards to the number of people that can phone it in, to use an expression. There also has to make sure that the technology is appropriate. I know sometimes the speaker phones do not project as well as they could. So there'd have to be a little bit of working with the technology to make certain that both the public, the member who is remotely participating, as well as those who are physically present, all have to be able to hear. So again, that's certainly can be worked out with regards to the technology.
There would be, Attorney Phelps, there would be some criteria for the use of this, because I'm not saying with this school committee, but, use the term phoning it in. And there's got to be a good reason why a school committee member, he or she can't make it.
That's correct, Mayor. And in fact, the open meeting law gives some guidance as to whether or not, for example, childcare responsibilities would be a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, and there also is a restriction. I think you can't, I don't have the regulations in front of me, but I believe you can only do it 3 times
Yeah, the number of
in a
times. Yeah,
calendar
okay.
year.
Okay.
A member can only do it 3 times in a calendar year. So I think, that's really up to this body to determine. I'd be happy to put together a memo of other districts that have adopted remote participation, what they have done in terms of the restrictions or the criteria for pursuing it. That might give you an idea of what other districts have adopted.
And I think clearly the technology has improved so much over look at how we have the staff members and the kids participate through Zoom. it might be just so simple that we have a Zoom link for every meeting going forward, just in case there's somebody who can't participate. But we can, we can get that stuff ironed out.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that that makes sense. I mean, if there haven't been many silver linings to the pandemic, but one is that we don't necessarily have to just do things the way that we've always done them because that's how we've done them, right? But that there are new ways to do the work that we have to do and still be just as effective.
Thank you, Ms. Hurst. Thank you, Attorney Phelps. Any other unfinished business? Okay, hearing none, any new business? Hearing none is,
I think all of my colleagues will join with me in hoping that Santa Claus puts a ticket in Barbara Gresham's stocking that she will have a pain-free year and future. It's been so difficult for all of us to watch the pain that Barbara's been in, and she's getting that knee replacement. And we wish, Barbara, if you're watching, we wish you all well. And I know we're all hoping that you're going to be a pain-free 22.
that's right, Barbara. You'll be able to kick field goals for the Patriots when you come back there. Any other new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Collins, or second? We're going to stay. We're going to stay. Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, seconded by
It's my
everybody.
last
Ro-
second anyway, on record.
Yeah, oh, yes,
Yeah,
that's right. It is technically School Committee Woman Maria Perez's last
That's right.
meeting. And she's been an invaluable member and really tremendous work, especially on that Brightwood Lincoln, being a liaison to the community and that nearly $90 million school building being built down there. And just, a subset of all the great work you do with the New North Citizens Council. I know I'm gonna miss you here on the school committee, but I know you're going to the city council and we appreciate that. And we look forward to Josiah coming on board. So I'm sure my colleagues will have a few words. Thank you for reminding me. I thought we had one more before we're gonna, okay. So I'll open the floor for, before we adjourn, for comments.
I think if everybody agrees, I think we should, even after you leave, we should bring you back as an agenda item, so that we always like to give a
We do.
parting gift or
Yes,
to,
we do.
one of our
Yeah,
members.
that's what I did.
Acknowledge,
Okay.
so
Okay.
we'll work it out with you for a meeting that you have free. Because we don't meet the same night as the council, so we should be able to work that out.
See, Maria, just when you thought you were out, we dragged you right back in. The old movie line there. I don't know if anybody wants to make comments, but I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if
I'm
Ms.
gonna miss
Perez, you'd
you
like to
all.
make any comments, or our school committee members?
Certainly, if I could, I just want to thank Maria for her outstanding work on the school committee. We look forward to continue working with you on the city council, but we're going to miss you and we appreciate all your great efforts. So I just want to thank you for that.
Keep in mind that I'm going across the room. Thank you so much. I enjoy working with all of you, as individuals, we come for the same purpose, for the betterment of our community. And I think going to the second phase of my life that I'm going, I will continue doing the same that I'm doing, working for the betterment of my community. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Turquoise is your color. Turquoise looks good on you. Maria.
And we're sorry that you're moving to the lower chamber.
I don't know if there's any other comments. If not, we did have a motion on the floor. We are going to bring Maria back to adjourn, and it was seconded by everybody, I believe. So, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Yes.
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 Yes, more than sufficient vote, this matter passes. And to each and every one of you here in the viewing audience, let's look forward to a really good 2022 for good health for each and every one of you and your families. And we all wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Kwanzaa, and a Happy New Year. God bless you all. Thank you.
Happy holidays, everyone.